I am the CSI. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Serie Addicts, looking at Serie A Match Day 11 and the Azzurri match that took place earlier today. With you, as always, my name is Marco Romano, and with me I have Tito Yang. Talking
On the
about
I'm on the other side. On the other side.
that always happens. I never know which side you're on. But I
Yeah.
know that Inter is on the upside after match
Oh
day
my
11. We'll talk
god.
about that, which I know you're going to love.
Yeah, of
Representing
course.
Pescara today. Props to Pescara.
Oh, I like it.
Serie
I like
B.
it.
Can't wait till they're back in Serie A, hopefully soon. But anything else that you want to talk about, Tito? I know that were some managerial changes as well that took place since our last episode. We'll certainly talk about that. But
Yeah.
anything else that you want to call out?
No, I'm wearing a shirt that my mom gave, our mom gave me. Anyway, not team related, but not nothing at all really. Let's leave that for when we talk about the national team because I do have some comments about that. Uh,
Yep, yeah, I definitely have a few things I want to say about it as well. But we can start with the first matchup in match day 11, Pisa Cremonese.
Peace,
1-0
Cremonese.
victory for Pisa.
Yeah,
Surprising, I would say. I was not expecting them to beat Cremonese, especially with how Cremonese have been playing
yeah,
to begin the season. But Pisa have also showed grit. They've demonstrated that they're not a pushover in Serie A. Again, a
yeah.
very competitive league all around. So a good victory for Pisa. Again, getting 3 more points, moving a little bit uh, up the table, and a little bit further from Fiorentina.
Yeah, that's like that everybody wants to get away from them into, like they have COVID or something right now because they're sitting dead at the bottom of the table. But yeah, Pisa has been on an uptick and they've gotten some really surprising results against some of the bigger teams. They've been able to hold some of the bigger clubs to draws and so they look well organized on the pitch and they have a fighting spirit about it. And that, sometimes in these games, is all you need, right? Just all you need is to put in a good fight and then a little bit of luck, and you can
Yeah.
can squeeze out a result. I'm surprised, like you said, that Cremonese lost because they have also been like a pleasant surprise in terms of the smaller teams coming up. Both Pisa and Cremonese are currently sitting outside of the relegation zone, so uh, you know, 11 games in, that's a pretty good place to be for if you're one of these teams.
And really quick, Cremonese controlled possession, 63% possession versus 37 for Pisa. And still
Yeah.
Pisa was able to get 14 shots and 6 of those on targets to score a goal.
Yeah.
Cremonese had a ton of opportunities as well. 12 shots, 4 on target. Just couldn't make it happen. But solid 3 points for Pisa, right? Like you said, they've gotten some good results, even with better teams. So they're doing well to start off their Serie A season as well.
Yeah. 100%. Very, very impressive start. Nice goal by today. Uh,
Let's see. Let's see if they can keep it going. But we can move over to the next matchup, Como Cagliari,
yeah.
which a nil-nil draw. Again,
Donuts.
kind of seeing some kinks in that Como armor.
Yeah.
Right, they were doing so good that I thought they were going to keep it going, but taking a little bit of a dip down back to reality. Cagliari, never an easy matchup, but surprisingly, nil-nil draw. I definitely was expecting Como to get that one.
Yeah. But that's where you start seeing the difference between like the bigger, more consistent teams like Roma, etc.,
Yeah,
and the smaller ones. I think as the season goes further, Como also has a couple of players who are a little bit on the older side, like Morata, for example. And, keeping them healthy might turn out to be a challenge. Uh, I feel like they're gonna be still around, ending up somewhere around the top 8, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But I don't see them breaking into the top 4, to be honest. I think the top 4 are pretty much gonna be kind of the ones that are there now, honestly. Um, More or
I
less,
think I had
you
him
know.
a little bit further up, especially with uh, the way it's going for Fiorentina, the way it's going for Atalanta right now, which we'll talk about. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to get a spot in to go to a European tournament. Probably not the Champions League,
It's gonna be
but I
tough.
wouldn't be surprised if they end up fifth or sixth on the table with how some of the other clubs are doing.
I
Granted,
can see that happening.
Bologna and a couple of other ones have figured it out, so they have a little bit some contenders for sure. It's not going to be easy, but I think they'll figure it out.
I think Bologna's a better squad overall, from an athletic perspective, from like an experience perspective, the type of players that they have on the team. They got people like Orsolini on there.
Yeah,
They're, they're a team that's been there. They went to the Champions League. You know, so I think it's gonna be a matter of two things. It's gonna be injuries are gonna be a factor for these teams, because these teams are not as deep as, a Napoli, a Inter, or, even a Juve that, has a bunch of injuries and they're still hovering around top 6. Uh when it comes down to it, if Como can stay injury free, I can see them being maybe in the top, 7 or 8. If they lose a key player like Nico Paz for any given amount of time, if somebody comes in January with like some crazy offer or something, you know what I mean? Como's a small team. So we'll see what
yeah,
happens with them, but
but they've
they're
been
looking
smart
good.
in getting like young talented players, right? To that have actually panned out
Hmm.
and given them some productivity. So, but let's
Yeah.
see, right? Still early, but I'm there with you, right? I have them a little bit higher, but only time will tell. Another nil-nil draw with Lecce versus Verona. Not a whole lot to say about that one. Right, Verona coming off a loss against Inter. Lecce have been kind of playing as I expected. Nothing really special, nothing to call out. Right, I think it was a kind of a boring match. Possession was more or less the same for both teams. Solid defending. Catenaccio football. Nil-nil draw. Doesn't help in either team.
Yeah, not at all. But I mean, it helps the teams kind of stay where they are almost, right? Because it wasn't the only draw, but I guess it's better than losing. But again, it's it really doesn't do a lot for the fans that are watching the match, or people who are following your team to get excited about your team. It doesn't do a lot for people watching the league to get excited about a league, especially Saturday. Saturday sucked. It's basically 4 goals over. There are 4 matches, and it's only 4 goals, and all 4 goals were scored in a single match. It was ridiculous. Lecce Verona was another donuts 0-0
Yeah.
draw. There's really nothing to talk or write home about.
But I know there's another nil-nil draw that happened during the weekend that you'll certainly want to talk about, which is
I
the
don't really
next
want to. I mean,
matchup.
we can skip it. Like we can totally skip. Like I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like let's just talk about Leche and Hellas Verona for a second. uh, yeah, no, nothing happened in that game. So, uh, see,
Let's get to the
Torino,
one that you're avoiding. Let's talk about Juve Torino, the derby.
Torino, Juve. Um, I think US should have won that game. They basically controlled the whole game. It wasn't Torino was just locking it down. Di Gregorio, I think, had one save to make. It's a pretty good save, though. Like he saved the game, pretty much. Because we almost lost. Uh, but I think I'm seeing the problem is the same. that the last three managers have had, right? Like they all came with like slightly different ideas, but not that much. I honestly, I hate to say it, but out of the formations that they were playing, I think my preferred formation was the one Thiago Mota was actually using. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I
Not
hate.
expecting Thiago Mota reference, and especially a positive one.
Listen, honestly, I think the team, like when it started playing with Thiago Mota, was playing really well. It was putting Kenan and Conceição in places where they had like a lot of chances to be dangerous.
Yeah,
I think it's
Conceição didn't look happy when he came off either.
no. I mean, I think Thiago Mota was getting the best out of Turam, for example. I think he suffered the fact that his personality didn't really mesh well with the club and a lot of the players, like the way he did things. And also, he asked for a lot of players, which then didn't perform. And then he started drawing games, and when he started losing, that's what happens at Juve. You have to win. There's not like a lot of time or chances to do that. Um, but the reality of the thing is that the formation that Spalletti and Tudor before him are using, I think it's dictated more by the kind of players you have available than their personal preference. And it's still the same issue that you don't have a player that can create that pass in the final third. We have the ball the entire match, and basically you would do the same thing. They take it out wide, they get stuck, they bring it back all the way back to the defense, and they kick it over to the other side, and they go up and they get stuck again. They swing it back, and they end up just kicking a long stupid cross
Yeah, playing
into
a
the
very
box.
predictable type of football that's easy to
Yeah,
defend.
it's just like there's nothing
That's why
happening.
Segroa, when he came on, and Conceição can be
I was gonna
mad
say that.
and get mad all he wants, brother. But the game completely changed when
Yeah,
Segroa stepped on the pitch, and you could tell the Juventus
he's a
players,
different level.
regardless of who had the ball and where they were in the pitch, they were
Just trying to give
all
him the
looking
ball.
to give the ball to
Yeah,
Segroa.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
even though
100%.
the other team knew what they were trying to do, he still managed to create a ton of opportunities, get by people, put in some good
Yeah,
crosses. Uh,
he is
that's gonna be a tough one
he's
because
very technical.
if that's the way he's gonna be playing, it's gonna be hard to keep him on the bench and have him come off the bench all the time to try to save
Yeah,
you. Because that's literally what they did. They brought him on. It's like we need a savior. Put Segroa in, and everybody feeds Segroa like he's
yeah,
Michael Jordan all of a sudden for you.
yeah. But full disclosure, Conceição was not mad because he got subbed. He was mad at something else. He like he said that after the game. He wasn't like had nothing to do with the sub. He was like bitching at the I think it was the ref for some reason. Um, So it wasn't like he was barking at the coach or he was upset about the sub. He was just like bitching at the officials, and that's why Vlahovic was like, "Dude, shut up! Like you're gonna get red carded." You know what I mean? Uh, but I don't think Conceição has a problem with being subbed out. Like he knew what the situation is gonna be like. Like you're coming in, yeah, we're bringing you for a lot of money, and you're starting, you're a starter. But bro, if you're not scoring and we got like the guy coming after you, you gotta give him minutes too. Like you gotta understand that. And then if the guy that comes in after you starts playing like friggin' like he's unstoppable, then you got a serious problem, right? Because then you're never gonna play.
Like I was saying, right? Big fan of Segroa. What do you think of Spalletti's tenure so far at Juve?
I think it's an interesting thing that he's playing Coke Miners at left back. I think it's the type of thing a manager does when a player is not just performing a certain place and he feels like he contributing in a different manner. I think for what they're asking him to do, he's doing okay. But honestly, And this is Juventus. And the club spent millions of dollars during the transfer market for
Yeah.
what? Like to play a $65 million midfielder as a left center back. You know what I mean? Like that's not good management. Now that's not Spalletti's fault. He just got there, but at the same time, like I feel like a change like that. Like I wasn't expecting them to fire Tudor like that. Honestly, I thought he was gonna get to at least Christmas. Um, but apparently, something happened, and now
Yeah, there had to be
Spalletti,
something brewing for some time with Tudor there.
he
It
probably told
wasn't like
somebody to
other
fuck off.
firings that have happened in Serie A. Right? That I
Yeah,
think that was the only one that has gone down. That was a little bit
surprising.
surprising,
Yeah,
more because of the timing. But then again, it was like 41 days without winning, without a win. So right, like you
that's a
said, they
lot.
spent a ton of money to bring in talent. Granted, that talent hasn't been producing. That's not on Tudor, right? When you look at Openda, when you look at David, you spend a ton of money for those players, paying them a ton per year as well.
Yeah,
So let's see if Spalletti is able to get more out of them. But they got you guys have some bright shining stars, right? Some good talented players. I want to see Yildiz get back to how he was playing at the beginning of the season, so we can go back to saying on each episode it is what it Yildiz.
yeah, right. Like we
But
haven't said that in a while.
yeah, because he hasn't been scoring goals like he did to begin the season. I
Exactly.
hope they could turn it around, but it's disappointing. Even though they controlled, dominated possession, had the most shots on goals, right? But for a derby, you expect your team to go all out, and I just didn't see that on the pitch.
Yeah. And still the best shot of the game who was McKennie with his head and he's a midfielder. Again, it's like, where are the strikers? Bro? It's like we have all these strikers, nobody shoots.
You had a couple. They had a couple of chances. They just can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. It's like
Yeah. And
right,
then
you
if you
gotta
watch the whole
like
game, you
three to
can
four
tell
Jimenez up front.
you can tell that they sometimes they have an idea and like the teammate doesn't get it. Like he runs to the wrong place, or they pass it in front instead of behind. They're like stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's like you're supposed to work that out on the training ground. And I think that's why Tudor got fired. I don't listen, man, like how hard is it to get players with this talent to understand that they can't stand and be static on the pitch. Like
Yeah.
there's a point in time where when Juventus get the ball where you have like Locatelli and Turan feeding, like just standing, passing the ball between them, like in the midfield, and then everybody who's attacking is just standing, like just looking at them like idiots. The only person running around is McKennie. McKennie is the only person that's like cutting from the midfield to the forward line, or cutting diagonally to get open on the wings, or like trying to do something, like make something happen. Openda does a little bit of it too when he's on. But everybody else is just like just standing around like idiots. Like you
Yeah, I
cut
hate that.
in,
Inter
move,
do
go
that
get the
a
ball,
lot as
you
well.
know?
I think they just
Yeah.
have to move the ball around quicker, right? Like you said,
But it's not about
it's just
moving the
very
ball, it's
predictable,
moving
very
the
slow.
people. It's moving the
That's why
people,
Inter
you
is so
know?
dangerous, right? And that's why they really get the most out of Di Marco and Dumfries on the wings, because with Chalanoglu and Barella, they make quick changes, right? Change from
Exactly.
one side of the pitch
Uh,
to the other directly, quick. The defense have to shuffle around. That creates space, and when you have
Ace.
like a Di Marco that has like a golden left foot, or when you have Dumfries that can go in and take people one on one, right,
Yeah.
and put in a good cross, it's hard. So I think you have those type of players, but those midfield pieces need to learn how to move that ball around quicker, to change it from one side to the other in just a
But we
moment,
don't
so
have
you
a
can take
Lautaro
advantage of that
either.
space.
We don't have a Lautaro or a Marcus Thuram or a Boni, where like a striker who's like, oh, you know what? The place that I'm standing in right now is not optimal for me to receive the ball. How about I move the fuck out of here? You know what I mean? Like, understand you like a dick. And then he's crying like to the ref. I'm talking about Vlaovic. I'm talking about, David. They do the
But
same thing. They just,
Blaovic, for
they stand
me,
there.
is the closest player you will have to that like solid number nine. Because
But
Obenda and David,
that's true. That's true. That's true. But the problem is, it seems like it's a problem with the team itself and their mentality, because if you take each one individually, Yildiz is a super talented youngster. Vlahovic is a very, very kind of like good all around striker, right? Not elite finisher, but he's a decent number nine, should be able to hold it down. Conceição is incredible one on one. He's very explosive. He's hard to defend. You have these three players, and then behind them you have Kefren Turam and McKenny. And I'm not gonna say Locatelli, because Locatelli like has like one good game and then three terrible matches, and like he's so inconsistent. He should not be playing at UA. I always say it. I mean, he's a nice guy, very classy, very well dressed, always. But
hey,
honestly, he
listen,
just doesn't have the level.
silver lining, your next match is against Fiorentina.
No, bro,
Right?
because it's the
So.
comeback match. This is like the new manager trying to show everybody that Fiorentina is back, and you'll see. It's gonna be a tough one.
The
You know,
revenge of Moise King scores a hat trick on you.
if I had to bet money, it's gonna be a draw, and then Moise Kean is gonna score. He's gonna if he plays, if he plays, because he's been injured too. But if he plays, he's gonna score.
But finally, moving on to the next match where we finally had more than one goal. To wrap up Saturday, we had Parma Milan 2
Bro,
2 draw. Pretty good match. Very, very contested. I thought Milan would definitely be a little bit more in control. Um,
I mean,
Parma,
they were
again,
up 2-0
kind
in
of
like
turned
the
it
first
around.
25 minutes. You know what I mean? Like they were actually up by two goals. I did see this match, and Milan looked completely in control in the first 30 minutes of the match. After they
Yep.
scored the
The first
second,
half, more,
yeah,
pretty much.
first half almost in control. Second half it started and Milan almost scored as well. Like it looked like it was gonna be
Yep.
more the same, and then all of a sudden Parma just turned screws. But actually, the goal, the Parma's first goal was at the end of the first half. Bernabe
Yep.
again. He's
Who's
on
playing?
fire.
Who's playing great? The
He's a
last couple of matches, Bernabe's
yeah.
been playing awesome.
He's a good player. He's a baller. Bernabe. And then Del Prato got the draw on 62nd, and then from then on, I don't know. To me, it felt like Parma was closest to winning this one. Honestly, like they had a bunch of chances too. uh, which I did not expect. But this manager is good. I think Carlos Cuesta is
That
his
I was
name.
thinking about that during the match.
Yeah,
Their manager is really good. He's
Carlos
getting
Cuesta,
results.
bro.
He's getting the players to buy in. Um, so
Doing a
they're
really
an
good job.
entertaining team to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it was gonna be a runaway match for Milan, right? Like you
me
said,
too.
getting off to such a quick start, being up 2-0, right by the 25th minute. But I complain about this about Inter all the time. It's like when they get a lead early in the match, they just like literally put it in neutral and get stagnant and don't do a whole lot, which is kind of what happened. You give opportunities to a team like Parma, and the way they've been playing. The first goal from Bernabeu was a golazo.
Yeah,
Put a lot of spin on that ball, hit it with his left foot, put it
a
right
beautiful
top
shot.
pins on
Yeah,
the corner. But not a team to take lightly, and for Milan, right, dropping 2 points, um, going down in the table, definitely this should have been a win for them. Pulisic, I believe, played. I think they didn't have Rabiot, if I
They did.
remember correctly. So
Yeah.
definitely still missing a key part. I think when he comes back, they'll definitely be a lot better in the midfield.
Yeah,
But
all they got to
good
do is stick
result for
around.
Parma.
Mhm. Very good result for Parma. And Parma right now are sitting outside, just outside the relegation zone with that draw. They get the point that puts them 1 point above Genoa, who's sitting at 7 points at the bottom of the table with Hellas Verona. Nobody's more Verona than
Hellas.
Hellas Verona and Fiorentina. What's wrong with them? Oh man. La Fiore needs some flowers because it's their funeral if they go to Serie B.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope they
sad.
don't.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's that. So next match on the
Atalanta
schedule.
Sassuolo.
Oh
That
wow,
have Sassuolo have been on fire.
that cost
Gotta
somebody
give
their
them
job.
props. I've been seeing the old Berardi, Domenico Berardi,
Yeah.
playing awesome. Even though Parma dominated possession, 66% possession
What
for
what do
Parma,
you mean
but
Parma? Atalanta.
sorry, Atalanta.
Yeah.
Atalanta controlled possession, kind of dominated the match, had 15 shots, but were only able to
Hmm.
put two on target versus
Yeah.
Sassuolo, who were a lot more accurate, only 9 shots on goal. Not a lot of possession, but scored 3 times. Two for Domenico Berardi, one for Pinamonti or
Yeah.
Merinterista getting on the board. They've been playing great. I love Lariante as well. I think is a great
Oh
player.
yeah. Solid player.
So not surprised about Sassuolo. More surprised that it took them this long to kind of get going.
Well, they just
But
came up, right? They got relegated,
yeah,
and they're coming up from Serie B. But what a player, Domenico Berardi. Like they don't make him like that anymore. Like he's stuck
timeless,
with that
brother,
club,
timeless.
and he stayed with them in Serie B, and he brought him back up. And man, that's we need
He's
more
gonna
people
he's
like
gonna go
that.
down as a club legend. He's a club legend.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's one guy I respect him too much because Juve wanted him, couple of teams in England,
Intel try to get him
and
as well.
Inter try to get him. And he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay with this. I'm gonna be like the chief of this little village here, and I'm gonna, help them. And he's always done his thing. And I know they got relegated, but that's not his fault. He also was at Sassuolo just doing some very good periods of the club where they even, they were around the European positions and stuff. So, enough respect due to Domenico Berardi. He's an Italian legend, and they don't make him like that anymore in Serie A. And I wish we had more players like that. He's the last of a
Yeah.
dying breed of like those players that stay forever with a single team. You don't see that anymore. Their managers are always looking for an extra buck now till you end up in Saudi Arabia kicking camels and shit. I don't know what they're doing over there.
And
Um,
crazy enough, right? Lariante didn't. I think he didn't start. He came off the bench,
yeah,
but they got some good players. They're starting to figure it out. Versus the opposite side, Atalanta, who seem to just be going backwards. The more games they play, I don't know what's going on with Atalanta, but they gotta figure something out. Um, Samarsic, Lukman, Pasalic, Ederson. They got so many talented players that it's crazy, right? And that's not even bringing up Sulemana, Kirstovic. They got some good talent. So this last couple of matches, them performing the way that they have, it's terrible for the league, one, because they're one of the most entertaining teams to see usually.
yeah.
But bad for the club, definitely not going through the best of times right now.
Well, and they just sacked the manager. So, we said it at the beginning. He was one of the ones that might be the first to
Yeah.
go. We were saying it. We were predicting
It
that.
looked like Juric was gonna like save himself there for a moment, but no.
Yeah, right. He made like a temporary kind of surge to the upper six of the table, and then all of a sudden it went way straight back down again. So I think management was like, nah, this experiment's not gonna And I bet you Juric was cursing everybody out in that locker room because that's the type of manager he is.
What do
So,
you think? What do you think about Paladino?
oh man, it's gonna be Atalanta's gonna be dangerous. I'm telling you, Palladino did an amazing job at Fiorentina. He had done a really good job before that as well. He gets his teams playing some entertaining, attacking football, and he gets results. So I think Palladino
Which
is
is
a
what I
great
want to see
choice.
from Atalanta, because that's what I'm used to seeing from them.
Yeah,
We've
he was
talked
a
about
great
how
choice.
crazy it is that we thought Gasperini was gonna bring that same kind of style to Roma, and that has not been the case at all.
Yeah,
Um, but they got to figure it out. They got it's like a U.S. situation. You got way too much talent to just be
yeah.
struggling this bad.
I think Fiorentina are eventually with Palladino now. They're eventually gonna turn this around. They're gonna go on a little winning streak, and they're gonna probably end up top 12 or so in the league. Hopefully, right? I don't think they'll get relegated. Like you said, they got too much talent. It's just a matter of somebody igniting a spark in this team and making them play cohesively. It's kind of the same problem that Juve have. Juve just have, more talent up front than Fiorentina do, obviously. And so sometimes that's enough for you to win a game that you should otherwise lose, because of your shitty midfield play. But the I don't see Fiorentina struggling a lot longer under Palladino. I just think, Pioli was probably not the best choice for them, obviously. And he
Fiorentina or
couldn't.
Atalanta? Oh.
Sorry, Atalanta. See, now it's me. Now I got crossed over. Sorry, Juric wasn't the best choice for Atalanta.
For
And
Atalanta, yeah.
and yeah, we said it from the beginning. Like we first
Yeah, he's
episode,
always been on the hot seat. Like
yeah,
ever
you
since
could
the
go
start of the
back and
season,
watch
he's
it.
been on the hot seat.
When we did the preview, we talked about we thought we're the managers that were gonna get sacked first, and Juric was kind of one of my picks.
Yeah,
But yeah, but
definitely at the top of the list. Surprising for Atalanta, and again, I hope they do get it together because they're one of the most entertaining teams to see in Serie A. So it's good
that's
for the league if they're
facts.
playing well. They're in the
Yeah.
Champions League as well, right? So we want them to do well in the Champions League as well. Even though right now it's looking like Inter may be the only Italian team to go through and have a shot at anything, but hoping the rest of the teams get it together.
I still
Next
got a couple games,
next
so let's
matchup
see.
is what's up?
I know I just said they got a couple of games left, so let's see. Hopefully, I mean, you will need a couple wins. So
No, let's see with Palladino, get Palladino some time, right?
he's gonna
See
do
if
really
he has
well.
an
You'll see.
impact.
He's gonna do
So
well.
I'm hoping I'm positive. I'm hoping for the best for Atalanta because again it's one of the few teams that I really enjoy watching in Serie A.
Yep.
But then we got Bologna, Napoli, which I love the way Bologna has been playing as of late. Gotta give them their flowers. Napoli, it's kind of the opposite. They're struggling. People continue to get injured. Now they lose above anybody else. Sambuanguisa,
Oh
which we
yeah.
both
Oof.
know how crucial he is in that midfield. Already have De Bruyne out, have Lukaku out. So Conte dealing with a bit of a infirmary issue. Everybody's injured.
Oh, even himself, he's taken a week off to rest. I don't know if he may be going through some health thing, right? Like it might be that he doesn't want to disclose. It might be that, but it's tough times for him and tough times for Napoli. Although Bologna was probably one of the few teams that you would think have a chance of beating Napoli,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like Pisa beat them, but it's it's still there is really literally talk in Italian newspapers right now about possible replacements for Conte. Like, they're already talking about it, which
Hmm.
is we talk about Xavi, for example, as a possible replacement for Conte, which I think would be maybe well, it would be an interesting experiment because they keep bringing these Spanish managers to the Italian league, like right Fabregas and Carlos Cuesta, and they're both doing well. And now, and I remember the last one that I can remember, I was there, Rafa Benitez. And then Luis Enrique, I think, had Roma for a little bit, if I'm not wrong. Uh,
Yeah.
didn't really carry him. He didn't really carry it. But Rafa Benitez did well with Napoli when he was here. Uh, I don't know. I think we would see the style of play change in Italy, and I think that would not be a bad thing because I think Italian
No,
players
I
have
agree.
played.
I agree, especially for young players. You got to learn to play different styles, especially when you're gonna have to play against those styles, right? In European football and internationally, right? So I think it's only gonna benefit the league. I think it's gonna make it more entertaining as well. So I wouldn't mind if that's the choice. But it sucks for Conte because he's an amazing manager. He's got a gift for getting the most out of players, right? Obviously, he's the Ibrahimovic when it comes to the Champions League. He can seem to win in the Champions
Yeah,
League, but you can always bet on him. It's a safe bet for whatever team he's managing to be the champions of the league.
yeah, it's
But
true.
struggling for Napoli, I think once everybody's back, right? Once Lukaku's back, De Bruyne, Anguissa, hopefully it's not a long an injury that's gonna keep him out for long. But I think once they get all their pieces back, they're gonna be dangerous. They're not that far off from the top of the table right now. The table, it's so good. It's so level. It's a level playing field, especially with teams like Bologna, right? That they're back to playing the way that they've been playing for the past 4 or 5 seasons, right? Getting European spots. So it's great. It's great to see Bologna get this results against the current champions. Definitely is going to be a morale boost for them, and I wouldn't be surprised um, if they give a few of those teams that we were expecting to get those top 4 or 5 spots a battle and make it and secure a European spot the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, they look very consistent. They look like they know what they're doing when they get on the pitch. They look organized. They look like they know each other. The players, feel they look like they've been playing together for a bit. That's the thing. Is like they look a lot better than a lot of other teams when it comes to those essential things that actually end up winning you games. So props to them. It'll be a crazy, crazy turn of events though if Conte ends up leaving Napoli because Juve wanted him, uh, and they did, and then he did not want. I mean, he decided to stay at Napoli, so Juve decided to keep Tudor. Uh, but he was actually like a lot of people were saying their first choice. He ended up staying in Napoli, but wouldn't it be crazy if he ends up staying in Napoli? Then he ends up leaving Napoli just a couple of weeks after Juve changed their manager. You know what I mean? Like if you would have waited till Christmas, maybe Conte would have been free.
Yeah, but I think if, like you said, if he leaves Napoli, it's gonna be because there's something going on medically with him. I hope that that's not the case, and he's good and healthy.
Yeah.
And definitely don't wish that on Conte. Don't want to see it at Juve. Would rather see him coaching the national team. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, right. It would suck if he ends up leaving Napoli and not getting a chance to run it back and defend their title.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be an interesting season for Napoli, considering that they're still alive in Europe and they're contenders in the league.
Mm,
So we'll be watching that closely. And I know Napoli, they have a jumpy owner. So if the owner doesn't like what he's
mm.
seeing, he'll make decisions very quickly. He got money too. So we'll see what happens there. It's not a better situation at Firenze, where Fiorentina drew away at Genoa. Um, and they kind of, they came back once, and then they went up with Piccoli's goal in the 57th, but
Yeah.
then it only lasted 3 minutes, that joy, because they got they got tied up by Colombo again 3 minutes after Piccoli's goal. So I mean,
Hey, two teams, right,
it's
that
the horrible
changed
season.
managers recently, right?
Yep, yep. Because Viera's
So
also out.
two teams going through that transformation. At least both of them got on the score sheet, right? It wasn't a nil-nil draw.
Yeah,
Uh, right, both teams scored twice. Fairly even matchup. Fiorentina controlled possession a little bit more, but as far as shots on goals, shots on target, pretty competitive match.
yeah,
But still, a 2-2 draw doesn't benefit either team. But we got to give him some time, right? They just changed managers. They're still trying to figure it out. For me, positive note, at least Fiorentina scoring twice, because they were just doing terrible for the last couple of
yeah. And
matches. That
they
match
had
against
great
Inter
possession.
was
It's
terrible.
almost 60. Possession was 58%. So at least they had a lot of the ball. But again, that's been the problem the entire season. And if and Moise Kean gets hurt, they don't really have a presence like up
Because
front to
we
replace him.
expected more from Goodmanson, right? Who did get on the board, right? He scored a pen,
Well, it's a
but I
penalty.
think
Yeah.
that was one player that I was expecting a little bit more from. Um, Gosens has been playing well, but I think he played a lot better last season. I think some of the players that they brought in like Zeko haven't really
He
added
was
a
a
whole lot.
disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's give the new manager some time, see if he can change it around. For me, at least, seeing that they scored twice is good. Same for Genoa. They're figuring it out, going through some changes. So I want to give them both some time. We hope that they can get it together, especially Fiorentina, because nobody was expecting Fiorentina to be that bad
Yeah,
or
that's
this
true.
bad this season. They've just been terrible. It was kind of sad watching Moise King when they played against Inter, how alone in an island up front he was. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Just
let's
bad.
see. Hopefully they can change it up, right? Get pumped up, get motivated with the new manager, right? Get reinvigorated and get back to what we were expecting them to do this season, which was at the very least top eight. I thought they
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah. Well, last two games were the top dogs. Roma was playing Udinese at home. They won that game, I would say, pretty comfortably, right? Not a lot of drama in that one. 2-0 for Roma. Roma scored. Um, let's see who scored the goals. Pellegrini on a penalty on the
The
42nd
captain who
minute.
almost left right
Yeah, and
before
then
the beginning of the
Sheric.
season.
Yeah,
That was one that then there have been conversations on him going to Inter. I wouldn't have minded that at all. They were talking about a Fratesi Peregrini kind of a swap, um, which I don't know about that. Fratesi is pretty good, even though he's been struggling when Key was giving him
but
some
I don't
time.
think that's gonna happen. I don't think anybody
But
wins with
good
that
to
trade.
see Peregrini get on the score sheet for Roma. Again, another solid performance for them, not conceding any goals. Getting two on the board. The kind of the handball was a weird one because when I was watching it live, I didn't see it at all, and I feel like the majority of the players on the pitch didn't even see it because he kind of threw his leg up and had his arm close to his leg, and you couldn't really tell. It looked like he just hit the ball hit his foot.
Yeah,
But the VAR actually got that one right, and Peregrini scores the pen, and then another good goal from Roma from Sherik to put them up 2-0. Udinese, a tricky team, right? Physical team. So a good win for Roma. Gasperini again. Gasperini has figured out this team. He's got them playing very, very well.
yeah. Top dogs. Best defense in the league. Tied with Inter at the top of
You
the
think
table.
that's gonna last though? For me, again, it's surprising. The more games and performances like this they have, the more legit they are. But you think
Hmm.
that this defense is gonna be able to keep it up?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think their players are. I think they're underrated, to be honest. Like Roma's defenders, like the ones they have, like Mancini. Mancini actually came
Yeah.
up big for the national team today. Mancini is better than most people know about. He had a
Mancini's
really good
good. The
game.
thing with Mancini is every now and then he'll flip out and like punch somebody or get a silly
You need that in a defender. You know,
card.
you remember Materazzi? You need that in a defender. You need a
Materazzi never
defender
did that. What are you
that
talking
the
about?
other team is afraid of. You need a defender that the other
That
team
makes
is
you want to
scared of.
headbutt that people just want to headbutt
Exactly.
you
That talks
because
about
you're
your
so
sister
annoying.
during the game. Exactly. You get ejected. You need that guy. And then Indica is physical force in the middle of the
Yeah,
defense. Like that
yeah,
guy is strong. That guy is fast, you know? Hermoso's playing well.
yeah.
I
He's
don't
been
know if
playing
he's like
well,
the
scoring some
starter,
goals as
but
well. Right? So you're getting goals from both two of
yeah,
your three center backs.
exactly. And you know, in this match, Roma didn't have Dybala because he got injured. So even without
Hmm.
Dybala, they were able to put two on the board. Dove Beek's been playing really well as well. Wesley has turned into probably like the best, you know, right back, barring Dumfries, right? You take out Dumfries, but Wesley's
Yeah,
playing
but
really
Dumfries,
well.
Champions League Dumfries maybe, but not Serie A
Yeah,
Dumfries this season.
yeah, yeah.
But
Champions League Dumfries.
Sole has been playing awesome. Right,
Yeah,
Kone is just a force in the midfield as well.
exactly.
But he's
That's a solid team, man.
yeah.
I think they're gonna be up there for the title. Honestly,
No, I wouldn't be surprised the way Gasperini has them playing. Not surprised at all that they're tied at the top of the table right now with Inter.
yeah.
And I expect them to be fighting, especially with what Napoli's going through right now with all the injuries and the contest situation. It's going to be interesting to see. I feel Roma are going to be there. Milan, I think they'll get it together and be there. I'm hoping Juventus can also get it together and make it a
It's
horse
gonna be
battle
rough.
for the top
Yeah.
spot. But Roma solid, man. It's pleasantly surprised by the way Gasperini has this team playing, as I expected them to have a completely different style. Especially how solid they've been defensively. And I know you're going to say it's because it's Serie A, but ironically, the top two teams right now play a three-man backline, and one of them has conceded the least amount of goals. They figured it out, right? It doesn't work
Yeah.
for
But
everybody.
you know what the crazy
Um,
thing is? Also, like just looking at that, like you just said that it's Juve and Bologna are fifth and sixth, and they've lost fewer games than Inter and Roma. So Juve have only lost two games, and they've allowed 10 goals. Roma has lost three games, and they've only allowed 5 goals. To me, that's a crazy stat, right? Because like even with that best defense in the league, you've lost more times than Juve, Milan,
yeah, but
uh,
that's
Como.
the Mourinho Allegri style. Just getting drawing and drawing. You're still dropping 2 points every time you draw.
Yeah, the thing
Right?
about Roma is they
And
haven't had a single draw. The only thing that
the
Inter
thing
and
is, you
Roma
can
have
have
in
that many
common,
draws where it's like literally
zero
you
draws.
what go on 40 days without getting a win, right?
Oh, bro. Like a draw is like losing, basically. Instead of
Pretty
losing
much.
three,
Yep.
you lose two.
For
A draw
top
is a loss.
teams, yeah,
Yeah,
for top teams,
it's a
it's a
loss.
loss.
It's a
You're not gonna
loss.
celebrate a draw, regardless of who
Yeah.
you're playing against. You're not gonna celebrate a draw.
hmm But that's the crazy thing. Juve has scored, two more goals than Roma, but they've allowed 5 more goals. And that's the thing. They lost fewer games, but they've drawn 4 matches. And that's what makes the difference. If you get those draws, it's almost, a
If you get
defeat,
those draws, you want them draws, huh?
them draws, if you get the draws. You know, the crazy thing about a draw is I think it's worse than a defeat sometimes because the defeat forces like a reaction. Sometimes the
Yeah.
draw brings like some
Yeah,
sort of
you can be just
complacency.
numb. It's kind of you're
Like,
numb.
yeah,
It's like meh,
at least we
meh.
didn't lose. Like when you start saying at
Hopefully
least we
that's
didn't
not the
lose,
case, but still, you
that's
don't get
stupid.
motivated as much. I think you're right about that. You don't get as motivated and fired up uh, with a draw that if you
Yeah.
actually lose a match.
You've never heard a team say, we want to
Maybe that's been
avenge the
U.S.
draw.
problem. Why they've been like me, me, me,
It's the
just
draws.
coasting.
They need to change their draws.
Hey, they got. I was just about to say that thing. Dirty bastards just need to change them draws.
They need to change their draws, man. Like, draws are not working. All right,
But good
fine.
victory for Roma, right? Tied
Yeah,
with Inter, which is the last matchup of match day 11 in Serie A.
yeah, yeah.
Inter verso Lazio.
Comfy
2
win.
0 victory for
Comfy.
Inter. Love to see the way they started this match. You could tell that whatever Kiwu told them after the last Champions League match, where we did get a victory, but it was just a 2-0 kind of testy victory against a team we should have crushed. Kibu kind of took the blame for the performance with the media, but rumors came out that he chewed out the players in the locker room after the game, and you could tell they came out with a fire. In the beginning, it was just nonstop, relentless pressure and attacking from Inter. Lautaro getting a very early goal, which is good because he has been struggling to find the back of the net. Uh, I don't think it's because he's out of shape, or I think it's just bad luck.
No, he
He's
always
had some
creates
good
something for
chances.
his teammates too. Like
Yeah,
he's up
he
there.
always gets a couple of shots off on goals,
Yeah,
or and the pressure that he puts on the ball, which you love to see from your captain, especially if your captain is a
yeah.
striker, is that
And
he's the first defender.
his movement off the ball, which is what I was saying you were missing. Lautaro moves around when he doesn't have the ball. He's moving around trying to find a spot to get the ball right. Like that's the type of striker.
No,
That's what we're missing. But Lautaro likes playing with his back to the goal. He can do that. He
no,
can run, towards the ball, towards the ball, the person who's carrying the ball. He can run towards them, get the ball, pass it off, drop it off to the side, then turn around and come back for the chance. That's what I don't see in some of the other teams. That's what they're missing. I think Inter already had that figured out because they haven't had to make wholesale changes to their squad because they already had a good squad from the past couple of seasons. So they've been able to gradually improve their team, and they've been also able to rely on solid, like, foundational players like Lautaro and Barella, and what
Chalanoglu has been
Bastoni has
playing
become.
awesome.
Chalanoglu has been playing really well
Yeah,
as well. So I mean, it's and those are people with experience. And Bastoni's on the younger side, but he's also got a lot of experience for a young player.
no,
And I think he's one of the highlights of this team as well, like in terms of keeping every line, at a certain level of quality. Yeah. So props
no.
to
And when
management.
Demarco, right?
You know,
Demarco has been playing better. I think he didn't do his best last season, and he admitted it. I think this season he's been on point, getting a ton of assists. Good to
yeah,
see Boni get on the score sheet again. Good
he's
at
been great.
hockey assists from Lautaro. DiMarco puts in a perfect cross for a tapping for Boni. I think out of the two goals, Lautaro's goal was the best. He put it top bins on the right side
Yeah,
from a great pass from Bastoni. Right, like you said, Bastoni's not only an awesome defender, but when he goes up front, he's dangerous.
yeah,
If he could develop a shot, he would be a lot better, even though he's amazing already and world class and probably one of the best defenders in Europe right now. But solid performance by Inter. I think like I always say, they kind of got off to an early start. They kept it up for a little bit more. I feel maybe because of that speech that Kibu gave the team. But still, after a while, they kind of fell back a little bit. Shelinski had a goal that was disallowed. Shelinski has been playing well. Good to know that we have another solid option, especially with Mkhitaryan still being sidelined with an injury. Fratesi is the one that I don't know, bro, what's going on. But he's complaining again about playing time. But when he does get playing time, he's not doing well at all. This match specifically, he had one opportunity where they left him one on one, basically with the keeper, and the dude tripped on himself and fell. It's like, dude, are you serious? You get paid millions of dollars, and like you just trip over yourself on a like wide open opportunity. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. For me, it's just been going on for a while. He's an awesome player and uh, has had some key goals for Inter, especially in the Champions League. Um, but he's a player that I feel deserves more time. For some reason, he doesn't play his best with Inter. He shines in with the national team. I
That
think we may be at a
one thing I
point
want to
where,
ask.
unfortunately, there may be a move coming up.
Don't you feel like players like Fratesi and Locatelli, for that matter, who coincidentally used to be teammates at Sassuolo when Sassuolo was great, uh don't you think those types of players should, for the good of their careers, instead of chasing like a big paycheck with one of these top teams, they should stay on one of these
Mhm.
middle sized teams and just
Now,
basically
listen, we were talking about Berardi
be
earlier,
great
right?
there? Yeah.
That's why people, even fans from other teams, respect him and know that he's a club legend.
Yeah.
Right? I've never heard anybody talk crap about Berardi. I always like his game, and you always respect players more. Like you said, when they don't go for the big signings and to the more popular teams, and just right stay at the clubs, progress, get some good results. But at the end of the day, you're a legend, right? You're not just another player that comes and goes. You're literally a club legend. So
Yeah.
imagine, right? We talk like Pescara, right? When they have were at their best. Obviously, granted, a lot of those players were on loan at Pescara,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
When they had Insigne and Verratti, right? When they made it to the Serie A,
Immobile.
yeah, yep. But Sassuolo was the same, right? A lot of talented players. They decide to get a bigger paycheck, join a bigger team,
Yep.
and their trajectory kind of starts going down and down and down because of playing
Yeah.
time, because of the system. You're no longer the focal point. Sometimes it's no longer about the team; it's about the egos and specific players within the team and the dressing room.
Bro, sometimes you
So
just can't run as fast as your teammates. And like in this game, you have to be able to run with your teammates. Otherwise, when the team goes forward for a counterattack, you stay behind. You can't run at the same pace. I don't think Locatelli as that can run with Turam, like for example, right? Like if they're breaking away. I don't think Locatelli is fast enough at thinking to operate in those tight spaces where you may need him to kind of unlock the other team's defense. He's good at making like a long pass or like sometimes at finding like one pass across the line. He does find those sometimes, but I feel like he'd be a lot better if he didn't have that much responsibility. Like if we just brought him off the bench in the last 30 minutes and he wasn't just sitting in front of the defense. And if we could bring him in kind of like in a Fratesi type role where he would be more of like an attacking midfielder who's trying to get into the box and create some chaos.
yeah,
I think he would be a lot better that way. But the way that we're trying to get him to play now isn't the way he was playing as a Swallow, number one, when he was there with Fratesi in the midfield as well. That's not the way they were playing. And then he can't really run with the rest of the team. He doesn't have the technical level like he does. And again, I don't see players at Inter, except maybe some of the new signings like Diop, who have those adjustment problems. You know what I mean? Like Pope Miners is
yeah.
another player where, you can tell he just,
Diouf, Luis Enrique has struggled a little bit as well. I think everybody else is
yeah, but
actually overachieving, especially
yeah,
Boni, Esposito.
Akanji is doing really well as well.
Akanji's doing awesome. I think, but
Yeah.
that one,
So
I think we kind of expected because he was coming from a champion
yeah,
in Man City,
he was
right, where
quality
he was a
already. Yeah.
regular.
We
Yeah,
knew he was quality. We knew about it. So
but Diouf
again,
is one that's definitely gonna leave soon because I don't think he's at that level. But I believe, right, like you were saying, that players like Locatelli, like Fratesi, would do better in just smaller market teams.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think if he goes to Juve or Roma, like, who are you going to replace at Juve? You're not going to start. Same at Roma. You're going to replace Cone or Cristante. The issue with Fratesi is that the only position that he could play effectively at Inter is Barella's position. And sorry, dude, but Barella is 10 times better than you.
Yeah, Barella's not
Like,
going
they've
anywhere,
tried him
man.
at Mkhitaryan's position when Miki's been out. They've tried him at Chalanoglu's position,
He's not that type
right?
of player.
And ironically enough, what that's demonstrated is that Barella can play other positions on the pitch. So
Yeah.
we've even tried putting Barella, right, as more of kind of a more defensive midfielder covering for Chalanoglu, and have Fratesi take his role. But he's struggled. I've been expecting more from him. I think he's just kind of one of those like big moment players that maybe you can bring on like last 10, 15, 20 minutes of a match when you're trying to get a goal, when players are
Yeah.
tired, and he's going to get you a goal more than likely. But he needs to show more consistency. Like, the aim was that he would be Mkhitaryan's replacement, and there's a reason why Mkhitaryan at his age and not being able to score for shit, because he's missed so many opportunities this year. There's a reason why you haven't replaced Mkhitaryan. There's a reason why they brought in
Yeah.
Sucic, who's doing awesome, by the way. He's
Yeah.
way younger, right? And is better, way better defensively than Fratesi. So I
Yeah.
think it may be time. I hope that if it does happen, that he goes to a small market team, maybe go back to Sassuolo. Sassuolo are back in Serie A, right? They've been
Yeah.
playing awesome, so that wouldn't be a bad option.
They should take
Um,
Locatelli too. We'd give him to them. Like just take Locatelli. Like just give us Lauriente, and you can get we can
oh,
get Lauriente,
Laurent,
and
yeah,
you
but
can get.
he's not gonna replace Yildiz. So why would he make that
Oh,
move?
we probably sell Yildiz next summer for 120 million. Like you think we're keeping Yildiz the way we're playing? That's
Mm.
impossible. He's gonna go to
Well, he's got to
Bayern
play
or
better.
something.
If it was the way he started the season, I would have said somebody
Yeah.
in the Premiership is definitely gonna come knocking on the door and offer like 100, 120 mil.
Yeah, I think that's US strategy. US said we want to keep Yildiz, so we need you to make him play like shit for the next 20 games until the transfer market's over, and then you can make him play well
I
again.
think
It's
Inter
terrible.
are getting prepared as well. I think that Turam maybe will not stay that long at Inter. I know he's had some issues with
He's gonna come to
that they've
Juve
kept
now.
under wraps.
He's gonna come to Juve.
Have the two
Same with his
Turam
brother.
brothers at Juve?
Yeah, Turam and
Mm,
Turam.
nah, doubt it.
That'll be a good.
Doubt it.
That'll be a good matchup.
But that wrapped up match 11. Again, Inter tied with Roma at the top of the table.
Top of the
Right,
table.
real quick preview, Tito. Match day 12. Right before we hop over to wrap up the episode talking about Gli Azzurri.
Yeah, Azzurri. Yeah, Azzurri. Yeah,
So
yeah. Let's see
match
what
day 12. Let's see good matchups. Napoli and Atalanta, two teams struggling. Struggle City for
Struggle
that
City.
matchup. Let's see if they get it together. Juve, either one thing is going to happen with Juve, Fiorentina all of a sudden are going to wake up and they're going to
That's
put four on
that's
Juve,
probably what's gonna
or
happen.
Juventus may finally get their shit together, right, against a team that is struggling more than anybody right now,
Thank God.
and
My
get a nice
prediction is it's
victory.
gonna be a draw. It's gonna be a draw, and everybody's gonna be really really pissed from both teams. That's it. Everybody's gonna be unhappy. We're playing at
Let's see.
Firenze, so maybe since we play away from home, the players won't feel that much pressure because I feel like sometimes when they're playing at home, they feel like the pressure of the crowd expecting them to do well, and they just crumble under the pressure because they're not players of that type of character. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I don't know. Maybe let's see.
I don't know, but the biggest, right, and the most important matchup of
Inte
match
the
day
Derby
12,
della
right?
Madonnina.
Il derby della Madonnina, Inter and Milan. Right now, I would say Inter, the favorites. Interesting to see if with the international break, if Milan can get a few of their players back, right? If Pulisic can get in better shape,
Rabiot.
if they can get Rabiot back. I don't know how much longer he'll be out, but I think it would be a different game if Pulisic gets back to the
Yeah.
form that he was in when we started the season. And just if they get back Rabiot, because I feel that Rabiot Modric combo is awesome for Milan, and now they have Leao on top of that. So if they could get all the players, all their ideal starting 11 on the pitch,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting matchup. But these types of matchups, right? That's why I said that I was a little bit disappointed in Juventus' performance against Torino, right? Because for a derby, it's a little bit different, right? There's bad blood going around, especially with Inter and Milan. So regardless, I know it's going to be a battle. Hopefully, it's a good game, ton of goals, and more than anything, a victory for the Nerazzurri.
I hope it's a
But it's
draw.
going to be a good match.
2-2 draw.
No, no, no. I wouldn't.
It's
I
gonna
wouldn't
be
say a draw.
Inter's first draw of the season.
No, we don't wear draws, bro. We either win or lose.
You go commando.
We let it hang out, regardless of if we win or lose.
Damn.
But that will be match day 12. And now to wrap up the episode, talking
Right.
about Italy versus Moldova. Definitely, I know you got a ton to say probably about this one.
Oh my
I think
god,
it was
man.
kind of a throwaway when I saw that
Uh,
that lineup that Gattuso put on
well, there's a lot
for
of
Moldova. I'm
rotation.
like,
It's a lot of rotation. You know, he's
yeah,
not
but that
coming
was
out with all of
basically
the
like,
starters.
this game kind of doesn't mean a whole lot. We know we're gonna come in second. We know we're not gonna beat Norway 18-0,
Yeah.
right? To get that first spot. So it was kind of Gattuso saying, kind of giving the players that he wants to have at least against Norway, which I'm hoping that he does. That he does field our better players, because that's the next game, right? The next game is against Norway, the final
I think
match,
so. Yeah.
and that's it.
Even if we beat them, like we can't catch up. So
No, no, dude, we would need to beat them.
it'll be like
Super doable, bro. We
19,
just need to 18-0. 18-0.
8.
You're saying that Italy can't beat a Norway with Haaland, with Odegaard, with Sorlov.
Knowing Italy, knowing Italia the way they are, if they had to beat Norway 16-0 to get into the World Cup, they would score 15 goals. In the 92nd minute, they would get a penalty in their favor and they would miss it. That's Italy. That's how they do.
But dude,
That's a Yeah.
interesting kind of freaking lineup. I think Vicario on goal. I don't mind because Vicario is a solid
Gotta
second
give him a
option
shot too. Yeah.
for a goalkeeper. So he's solid regardless. It's good
Hmm.
replacement for Donnarumma. Bellanova, right? We haven't seen him playing in the national team. At least I can't remember for a while having him seen him in the national team playing. Very interesting back line, right? With Bellanova, Mancini. Obviously, Mancini, I feel, is going to be
Yeah, man. Yeah.
starting moving forward, even in
Yeah.
important games for Italy, especially with Gattuso.
Yeah.
Bongiorno, I was actually nice to see him play because for me it was surprising that he wasn't called up for some of the previous prior qualifiers.
Yeah. Didn't
I
have a
think
great
Bongiorno is
game though.
solid,
He was like a bit iffy in this one, but it's all right.
but I think it's the Mancini Bongiorno combo, right? Because you're gonna have you're gonna have Callafiore and you're gonna have Bastoni at the back, right? Normally, I think Italy, and we've talked
I
about
don't
this. I
know,
think
man.
that right
Yeah.
back position is where they lack defensively. But Bellanova, and then the other option, which has been forever, and I'm surprised that nobody that we haven't come up with a better replacement on that flank, because we have a ton of talented players, but they all
I don't
seem
know
to
why
play
you
on
hate
the other
on
side.
Bellanova so much. I think he's pretty good. I think he's a solid player. But we could still move Cambiaso to the right side.
No, but it's not.
Fi-
I wasn't shitting on Bellanova because Bellanova's young. But dude, having Di Lorenzo be your number one option in that position, it's not good enough for Italy. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, it
For
should be
me, Di
Cambiaso
Lorenzo
on
is a
the
very
right
solid player,
and Di
but
Marco on the left.
he's not world class. He's not a world class player.
Yeah. And again, we all saw it the last couple of games. Cambiaso can play on the right side. He actually plays better on the right side, as it was shown in the last Juve matches. Because when they put him back on the left side, we drew against Torino. But the two matches where he played on the right side, we won, and he actually
No,
scored
put him
in
on
one
the
of
right.
them.
I would rather have Cambiaso than Di Lorenzo, and then obviously you have Di
Di
Marco
Marco on the
on the
left.
left,
That's it.
which
It's
really was
easy.
what's the change in the game today. Like it was like the Inter hockey change that Gattuso made that started making so good. Granted, Retegui also came in, um, but good
Yeah,
goals, right? Mancini
Scamacca
scored the first one
didn't
in a
really
good
do
header.
anything. Yeah. A
Who?
couple of people were off, but it's again like the game was boring. Italia looked uninspired. You could tell, like
Yeah,
you
it
said
looks
at the
like they were
beginning of
going
the
through the
match, like,
motions. They knew that the kind of the game, the result didn't matter that much. Um,
but it did
Good to
because
see
if they
Pio
lost,
Esposito.
if they had lost, and then Israel won, and then Italy lost against Norway, like Italy's out of the playoffs too. You know, it's
Yeah,
not like they have like that much of an
even with
advantage.
even with this lineup, I don't think they were like in a position to lose at any time. I think
Oh,
it was
really? Because it took him
surprising.
till the 88th minute to freaking
I was
score the
about to say
first
it was
freaking goal,
surprising
man.
that probably that was the only thing that they hadn't scored yet. But the props to Gattuso, he made the right changes and get a 2-0 victory. I'm happy, especially seeing Esposito get on the score sheet. Good header, solid header, typical number 9
Yeah.
goal. I hope that he keeps progressing and improving because we need somebody with that kind of skill set up front in an Italian jersey. But yeah, lackluster performance. Obviously, not good. Not good going into our next matchup with Norway, which I hope
Yeah.
that they field the best starting 11 and use it as kind of preparation for when we do go into the two most important games that are the
We
next
gotta
ones.
beat them. We have to beat Norway. When has Norway ever been like a freaking power in world football? Like, this is ridiculous.
No,
We're talking about Italia.
they've been out
It's
of
a
their minds.
four
It's just their
it's a
scoring right now.
four-time World Cup winner worrying about Norway. Like, this is an
Okay,
absurd
but a
conversation
four-time
we're
World Cup
having right
winner that
now.
has failed to qualify for the last two World Cups. And I was saying that I'm hoping that they treat this next matchup against Norway, right, as a trial, right, to get prepared for the other two matches that are going to be the important ones. Um, Definitely surprising the way Norway has been playing. You would expect Italy before things started to be at the top of this group, but Norway have just been playing out of their minds, right? And
They've been
Italy,
perfect.
yeah,
Seven
and
games,
Italy have been
7 wins.
struggling
Yeah,
and just
7 games, 7
destroying
wins. And
everybody, including Italy, right? So
mhm.
gotta give them their props. They deserve to have the number one spot and qualified. And uh, other like not on doing the opposite of Italy, right? Where they did have Haaland start, the best players play, right? They have Sorloth start. Italy went with the approach that we're gonna rest the best players. So I'm hoping that it pays off and they do put in a good performance against Norway.
Even though it doesn't really matter, like, at this point. Like,
Yeah,
that
but
that game
it's for
really doesn't
pride, dude. It's
matter.
for pride.
Yeah.
It's for pride.
No, I know. For pride, it does matter. For the standings, like right now, like
No,
even if
doesn't
Italy
really
win
matter. And
5-0.
obviously, right, you don't want anybody a key player to get injured, right?
Yeah.
Before the other two matches that are the ones that we really care about. But they need to take it seriously. They need to. They can't get mauled over again by Norway like they did the first time they met.
Did you say Moldova?
That's probably the team that we're going to be playing in the playoffs afterward. Now, with our luck,
Yeah,
we'll
no.
probably get North Macedonia again and lose, and lose against them.
If we get any type of physical tough team, we're screwed. They're gonna bully
Mm.
us, and you know it's gonna happen. But let's see. Let's see.
Well,
Like right
I
now,
hope that what happens is that Italy does qualify for the World Cup, especially this one that's here in the States, in Canada, and Mexico.
yeah,
Um, so we can enjoy some Italian matches, listen to the national anthem, the beginning of every match. Or if not, we're gonna be rooting for the U.S. It is what it
yeah.
is. It is what it yield is.
Don't say that. Don't say that because you say it is what a yield is, and one of the teams that Italy could get is Turkey. Turkey, yay! If we get Turkey,
We will
yay,
definitely lose
we
against
will
Turkey. That's gonna
not
be like
play in
two
the World
Yildiz
Cup.
goals, two goals from Chalanoglu.
Chalanoglu, they're gonna murder us. Okay, Arda Guler is gonna
Arda
just
Güler, who has been playing awesome as well for Real
they're gonna
Madrid.
destroy our midfield.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely one of the teams that I would not want to face. It's
we,
interesting as well that Portugal failed to secure their spot,
yeah,
and now
but
this next match.
they should get it. They got it's
That, but
Armenia,
let's see.
right? It's Armenia.
You never know, brother. It's one match, and they're not gonna have Ronaldo for that match either.
They're probably gonna win
So
easier. They're carrying the 40-year-old man
you bastard.
around the field.
I was thinking about it, but I was not gonna say it in respect for the legend. But yeah, like
Yeah, I mean,
they have some good replacements, I would say.
yeah,
Unlike Italy.
yeah. Another team I would not like to get in the playoffs is Poland. And it looks like it's gonna be, the most dangerous ones are gonna be Poland and Turkey, because I'm not afraid of Hungary. Uh, the other one
No,
is Iceland. Could be a tricky one if they actually do make it out
no,
of
dude, come
that
on,
group.
no, come on, bro, come on.
But Iceland's been to more World Cups than Italy in the last 8 years.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But it's the
That's
truth.
crazy, crazy, and embarrassing.
It
No,
is
no,
embarrassing.
I'm positive. I'm positive that they'll go through. Right, fingers crossed. Like you said, we don't have to play against Turkey, yay,
Yeah.
or Poland. I would prefer Poland for sure. Even though they have Lewandowski, Zelinsky has been playing awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, they're
I'd
pretty
like to get the
physical.
Czech Republic because we own the Czech Republic.
That's
We
another
Italy
day.
always
Yeah, but that's
beats.
another dangerous one, dude,
They
with
beat the
cheek.
Czech. Well, we always beat the Czech Republic.
I'm a little bit. That's why I don't mind if we get a Poland because I feel we would beat them
No, 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 no.
versus like a North
Poland's got
Macedonia.
Lewandowski.
But
Lewandowski's
I
gonna
feel
score
I
three
feel
goals
like
on
it's
us.
always like Italy just like sucks against like the shittier teams.
Or any team that has somebody with a name and everybody's scared. Oh, we gotta stop Lewandowski. And then they play with like 8 defenders and one striker.
Listen, I'll be honest.
Like
Even though
that
Roma has the
chicken
best
shit stuff.
defense in Serie A, Mancini has been playing well. Like I don't see like our defensive line stopping like Haaland and Sorlov, even a Lewandowski. Let's see. Let's see.
Nah,
Let's see what
maybe.
happens. It's gonna be interesting. We'll certainly be watching, and we'll be watching what happens in Serie A match day 12. Inter strong at the top of the table. Let's see if Juve can turn it around. Let's see if Fiorentina can turn it around. If Atalanta can turn it around. But this season has been very competitive thus far. It's been entertaining. I think
Yep.
it's going to get even better. We appreciate you guys watching. Please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Marco Giansante, Romano, Garcia, Natalini Vera, Salsa
Pesario.
Picante, Chuleta, Chancleta, and I'm with Tito Yang. We appreciate you spending some time with us. Uh, Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Peace.
All right. Open that. Get a better haircut, bro.
What are you talking about, bro? I got my
Not
Italian
open that.
stallion look.
Not open that.